Hello everybody and welcome to another Modern Cube video. This is a interesting pack to start. I don't really have a great sense of what the best first picks are in this format. I've had a lot of success historically with multicolor grindy mid-range decks, which makes me kind of want to take the Omnath. Omnath is great. There's also both of the fetch lands would be reasonable. Abrade is solid. Tatiova's fine. But yeah, I think I'm just going to slam Omnath. This is obviously a pretty early pick, but this card is incredibly powerful when you have the mana to cast it. So I think I'm going to speculate there. Now we get an interesting pack. A couple solid options. Consecrated Sphinx is probably the best card. I think I'm just going to take the Sphinx. It's really, really strong. One of the best top-end pieces. I also really like Dragon Lord Silumgar a lot. Planeswalkers are always solid, so those are both decent. If I was 100% sure I was going to play Omnath, the card that works best in an Omnath deck is probably Xenagos, but that's not a card I'm going to second pick here. So let's take the Sphinx and see where we go from here. Now we get a Dragon Lord Ojutai. That's pretty interesting. There's also Tamio, Garrick, Gruul Turf potentially. But yeah, let's take the Ojutai here. Set up nicely with potentially some blue-white, some 4-color blue-white. Yeah, we'll take this. Okay, now I think we take a Johnny Vengeant. Shark Typhoon is decent. Karn is decent. Galvanic Iteration is kind of interesting. I haven't seen this be that great yet, but I could imagine it being good in the right deck. But I think it's a pretty easy Johnny Vengeant here. I would like to be able to play all these colors if possible. It's cheap, medium cost. It gains life, it removes permanents. It's just a really strong card. Yeah, we'll take a Johnny. Okay, pretty easy Ketria Triome here. You got to take these sorts of lands when you get the chance if you're trying to play all these colors. This is 3 of the 4 colors for Omnath, so it's a perfect Triome. I think blue-white, probably Jeskai looks best based on what we have right now, but still, good pickup. This is not really what we want to be doing. Yeah, let's just take the Triome. Okay, now I think we got to take Hinterland Harbor. There's also Gilded Goose, but I don't know how heavy green I'm going to be. We could also take, Incinerate. Maybe one of these cards could be good. But, yeah, I think I just want to take the fixing here. Gilded Goose, it's like, I think this is not really the kind of deck that wants ramp like Gilded Goose. We want to be playing 1 or 2 board sweepers, and then ramp like Farseek and Cultivate. That's really what we're looking for, not creatures that die to removal. So let's take the Hinterland Harbor. Ooh, okay, deal. I mean, I'm taking this to Teferi. That's sweet. Gideon, Dragon Lord Atarka, Rafine's Tower, and Dromoka's Command all also look reasonable here. So that's a good sign, but we will definitely be taking the Teferi. And I love this start. This is pretty much exactly what I want to be doing in Modern Cube. The fact that we have only cards that cost 4 or more is maybe not great, but this is some of the best top end that you can ask for. And then hopefully we can get some of those 1 through 3 mana green accelerants to enable it. I would also, of course, like more fixing. That's always going to be the case for these sorts of decks. So I believe that is the 7. So one more pack, and then we'll get back to our first pack. And I don't think it's likely that either of the lands came around, but it is possible. Okay, interesting. Jaya is okay. Double red could be tough, though. I think I like taking Lightning Helix here. Keeps the curve down a little bit and is just a really solid card. Yeah, let's take that. Okay, we did not wheel any of the lands. No surprise there. I think I'm going to take Tatiova. It's a little expensive, but it's very good, especially with fetch lands, especially with Omnath. Magma Opus is not really where I want to be. I just can't imagine us ever realistically casting this. Yeah, let's take Tatiova. I have a lot of top end here, obviously. So, that is what it is. In certain matchups, that's exactly what you want. I find that decks they tend to either be really grindy or really fast. There's not a whole lot in the middle. We're setting up to be really grindy, so if we play against other grindy decks, that's great. But we need some board sweepers to handle the Beaumont Courier Student Warfare decks. Here, Showdown of the Skull does good in some situations. Like, if we had a bunch of cheap removal, I would take this, but we have a bunch of top end and card advantage, so we're going to take the cheap removal. Royal Eruption is not as good as Lightning Helix, but it's not bad. All right, now I'll take Tamio. I think this card is solid. Comes down for 4 mana, taps a one of their blockers, and then the minus is amazing in decks like this that have lots of expensive permanents. Like if you just play this, come down and immediately make an Omnath, that's pretty incredible. So we'll take that. Now I think Karn, Galvanic Iteration. It's like if we play, I guess it's good if we can combine it with Helix, but yeah, let's just take the Karn. Really would like a 2-mana ramp spell. Sakura Tribe-Elder that can let us play all of our 4-drops on turn 3. Also, yeah, the mana is bad. We have a very, very greedy mana base here and only 2 pieces of fixing. We don't have any fixing for white yet. So this deck is 10 million out of 10 in some categories and 2 out of 10 in others. Hopefully we can balance that out a bit. Huh. Wormcoil Engine is good, but I think this is a Milliken deck. Yeah, it's not the best accelerant, but I think that is the pick here. We want to be a little bit faster. Definitely not a Jinxed Idol deck, so we'll take this. And then last pick Remote Glitch Command. Actually could be good, but probably not. Alright, good start. We know exactly what we're trying to do. We have our work cut out for us. Something like Farseek or Rampant Growth would be like potentially the #1 thing we could get here. Okay. Pretty easy Rogran Triome. That's excellent. Make Disappear is fine. All these green cards are fine. Honestly, though, pretty easy Rogran Triome. There's a big drop-off after that. I guess Everflowing Chalice is okay, but yeah, that really, really helps with the mana. Now, pretty much any fetch land is going to be incredible for us. Okay, now we have a few options. Rada is good if we're playing a high land count. Then we have a lot of 2-mana interactive spells. Also Oblivion Ring, and then Nahiri and Niv Mizzet as sort of more expensive stuff. I think the pick is just Fire Ice, though. I like that this is both blue and red, so it works even if our mana isn't perfect. There will be some games where we just have, green, blue mana, and that's it. And we can still play Fire Ice. So I think that's the pick here. And then we're almost definitely going to wheel something good from this pack. There's also Avacyn's Pilgrim, I guess. But again, we're pretty light on the green. Turn 1 Pilgrim is going to be a bit tough. I think Fire Ice is better. Yeah, let's take that. Okay, we got a couple pieces of fixing here. There's Anger of the Gods, but that's tough on the mana. I think it's smart to take the mana before we take the double red card. I would take a Wrath of God because that's just so good. And it's possible that Anger of the Gods is in that category as well, but our mana is just so bad, and I really, really want to solidify that a bit. So I think we should take Wandering Fumarole. Yeah, let's take the Fumarole. Close pick, though. Ooh, Wrath of God. Okay, I don't think I can pass that. I know I just, passed Anger of the God, but Wrath of God is significantly better. It just kills everything, no questions asked. That's incredible. Boros Garrison would be great, but we're taking the Wrath. This is, exactly the card you want in this deck, where you have lots of board sweep, or lots of Planeswalkers, and you're pretty slow. Now we can take some fixing. Sure. Alright, so the curve is terrible. This is going to be an 18-land deck for sure. But the power level's there. The power level is definitely there. Alright, a couple interesting options here. We have more fixing in Stirring Wildwood. Wall of Omens as a good blocker. Brazen Borrower as an interaction. And then Prismari Command. And I actually think I'm going to take the Prismari Command here. This is pretty good removal that also helps to fix our mana. The looting helps us to fix our mana, and creating a treasure token helps. And then it's also just a good interactive spell. So I think I will take that, but it's kind of close. Now we get Spell Pierce, Moldrifter, Elspeth, Needle Spires. I think I'm going to take the Spires here. I like Spell Pierce. Actually, no, let's take the Spell Pierce. Yeah, Spell Pierce is very, very good interaction, and we don't have any counter magic at the moment. Yeah, we'll take the Pierce. Both Elspeth and Moldrifter are better in some decks, but again, we have tons of top end, good card draw. That's not the weakness of this deck right now. So let's take the cheap interactive spell. Still very light on the ramp, though. Green isn't looking particularly open, so we might end up just being like Jeskai control, splashing green for Omnath mostly, and then maybe Tatiov and Tamio are both on the fence. Okay, we're not playing Kess. I think it's just between the lands and probably the Seacrim Coast. Although Inspiring... Actually, no. Maybe Inspiring Vantage is better here. Our early removal is mostly red. Yeah, I think I'm going to take Inspiring Vantage over Seacrim Coast, but it is close. Now we get... This is our first pack. This pack was bad before, and it's still bad. Not really a Shadow Spear deck. Not really an Infernal Grasp deck. I guess I'll take Siege King Commander, but I'm not really planning on playing that one. Okay, Nahiri. Oh, this is a much better pack. Let's probably take the Oblivion Ring. Nahiri is decent, but we have so many 4s already. I think I'd rather have the interactive spell. And Remove Soul is okay, but this deals with Planeswalkers, and we don't have any clean answers to Planeswalkers yet, so I think that's a bit better for us. Okay, Good Fortune Unicorn. Not really looking great here. I guess we'll take Hullbreaker Horror for the board. In case we play against a super slow deck. Ooh, Boros Garrison Wield. Chandra Fire Artisan is okay, but definitely taking the Boros Garrison here. That's great. It's fixing. That also is card advantage. These lands in general are just phenomenal in a format that's not too fast. Let's see. I don't think Torrential Gearhulk looks very good here. We have a few instances, but not many, so I'll take the Silver Scrutiny, but not playing that in the main deck. Huh. Nexus of Fate, okay. Also not playing that in the main deck. Last pick, Kaito, okay. Alright, that was a good pack. Our curve is still high, but that was always going to be the case. We got some cheap interaction, which I'm very happy about. Now I think... So it's primarily between Temple Garden and Force of Negation. Temple Garden is really nice fixing. Our fixing for... Like, we don't have any green-white lands, so that would be nice. Force of Negation plays well with just the fact that we're slow. Like, we have a lot of card advantage, so we can offset the card disadvantage of the Force, but I think I'm still going to take the Temple Garden. Our mana is just not that great, and I want to do everything I can to make that consistent. Yeah, sorry, Force of Negation. We're taking the Temple Garden. I would love a fetch land. Ooh, and there it is. Yeah, we'll definitely take the Windswept Heath. Breeding Pool would be nice, but Windswept Heath is a perfect land. It can grab either of our triomes. It can get... so it can get all 4 of our colors. It can get... The only untapped land it can get right now is Temple Garden, but still, really good pickup. If Breeding Pool came around, I would be thrilled. Garrick would be good here, but yeah, definitely taking the fetch. And another fetch. Sweet. Yeah, we'll definitely take that. Is it Boilerworks is good. Consider's fine. Wreck the Sage. A lot of cards that are reasonable here. Maybe we can wheel like Voice of Resurgence, but definitely taking the fetch here. That was... Getting back-to-back fetch lands early on in this pack really solidifies this deck. Now we have... Let's see. Solitude, Hydroid Krasis, Opt, Oracle of Moldiah. I think I like taking the Solitude here. This is really good interaction. It is a turn 1 or 2 interactive spell against aggro, and then it's a good value play against control. And I think we should have enough white cards to cast this without too much of a problem, or to evoke this. Eladamri's Call is kind of interesting. Good with Omnath, but yeah, I'll take the Solitude. And then Hydroid Krasis is also worth considering. It's a good card, but not really what we need here. Zagoth Triumph would be just a tapped blue-green land, so it would help us a bit, but I think Solitude is going to help us a bit more. This deck is really coming together now. Got the fixing, got some of the cheap interactions. Still light on the ramp, but if you interact on the early turns, that's kind of the same as ramping on the early turns. Now I think we'll just take the Arbor Elf. Not the best Arbor Elf deck, but it can kind of fix our mana. It can untap Ketria Triumph or Temple Garden. And with 2 fetch lands that can grab Temple Garden, that gives us more consistent access to green on turn 1. I would still rather this be a ramp spell that puts lands into play, but I'm not going to get too greedy. That's still a good pickup. And now we have some interesting options. Counterspell is really good, but hard to cast. We could take some more fixing, or we could take path. I think I like taking the path here, honestly. Really, really good interaction. And Counterspell is really good. But I think it's just going to be pretty hard to cast. Like, we have a lot of lands that don't cast it. Although, I guess not that many. Close pick. Could also take, like, Burst Lightning or Glacial Fortress. I think I'm going to take the path, although it's really close. Okay, now it's Elspeth Resplendent versus Memory Deluge. Let's see, what does Elspeth do? So we can get a permanent that costs 3 or less. That's not great. If it was 4 or less, this would be very good for this deck. But as is, it's pretty weak. We can still minus to put a land into play, but that's kind of underwhelming. So I'm going to take Memory Deluge. Yeah, it's slow, but it's really good. Ooh, Hallowed Fountain. Sweet. Conclave Tribunal, Charming Prince, both reasonable. Teferi's okay too, but yeah, let's take this. This is another, we can fetch it off of both Windswept Heath and Flooded Strand, so it gives us a lot more untapped sources of blue mana. Now the Force of Wheel comes around. That is really sweet. Makes me feel a bit better about passing the Counterspell. The Breeding Pool came around too. Oh my, but wait. I think we need to take Radiant Flames. Yeah, it's close, but I think Radiant Flames is too important. Now let's take Voice of Resurgence. Yeah, we'll play Zagoth Triome here. I don't think Eldar Recall is fine, but it's not amazing. Okay, so are we playing 17 or 18 lands in this deck? Probably 18. Some solid late pickups here, honestly. So I think we need to make one more cut. Karn's Sign of Urza is not amazing here. Actually, I might just cut the Milliken. Really close. Milliken is just so weak. Yeah, I'm going to cut the Milliken. It's like there will be some games where it would be good, like they can't kill it and you just get to play your Planeswalker a turn early, but now that we have a lot of other cheap plays, I'm not as worried about that. Plus, we want to be able to sequence tap lands in the early turns. So I think we want to do it like this, and then we could play that. So let's sort by color. It's going to be a weird mana base. All right, so for white, we have 10 white cards, 10 blue cards, 6 red cards, and 6 green cards. Okay, so blue-white with a red-green splash. Let's look at this mana base. For blue, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's okay. Counterspell would not be playable. I would like one more, ideally, but that's okay. For white, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That seems solid. I don't really want to go lower because I want to be able to have double white for Wrath of God, but could potentially cut a Plains. For green, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's fine. I don't want to go lower, but I'm okay with 7. And then for red, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I think that's more red than we need, so we can cut 1 mountain for 1 island. Yeah, that seems fine. So we'll run it like this. I think this deck is sweet. It's a little bit slow, but it has some good cheap interaction and lots of good grindy stuff, and then also a pretty good mana base, I think, all things considered. So we will submit like this. The deck is sweet. See you in round 1. Alright, we have our opponent for round 1. We're playing against X Dingus Khan. Unfortunately, we are on the draw. Solid hand, though. We don't have any white mana, but we also don't have any white spells, and we have good mana for our other colors. Turn 2 removal spell, good grindy stuff. Really everything we could ask for. There's a world where we want to cycle the Triome, so I'm going to lead on this. Oh, I was planning on playing the Triome until we drew the Inspiring Vantage. Hopefully there's a creature. Voice of Resurgence. Not the creature I was looking for, so don't really want to Royal Eruption that. One of these 3 lands is going to enter tapped no matter what. So I'm just going to play Hinterland Harbor this turn. Oh. Oh, whoops. That wasn't the land I thought it was. Okay. Doesn't really matter. I thought this was the land that, like Inspiring Vantage, one of the ones that enters untapped if you control 3 or fewer lands. Elvish Visionary. Okay, neither of those threats are very good to kill with Royal Eruption, but this is fine. Okay, I think we still just go draw go. And then the question is, do we want to cycle this Triome in a turn? And I think the answer is no. We have Tatiova. Yeah, it seems fine. So take 3. If they... Well, yeah. Our plan is probably to play a Johnny Vengeance in plus. They don't play anything. Interesting. Okay, not going to cycle. Let's go land a Johnny. See if this resolves. Okay, no Mana Tide. That's good. Let's keep the voice tapped down and pass. Now, they could have a Cathar Commando end of turn, which would be pretty annoying because that would let them kill our Johnny, but we don't really have a great way to play around that. Nice. No play end of turn is exactly what we wanted. Sure, Utopia Sprawl. A lot less scary now than it would have been on turn 1. Do they have Omnath of their own? Doesn't look like it. Prismatic ending for 4. Fair enough. Still only 1 for 1. That's not too bad. I think I'm going to go Oblivion Ring and then hold up Spell Pierce. I don't want to hold up Spell Pierce if they have the Voice of Resurgence in play. I also don't... I mean, we could just jam Tameo, I guess, but I think I'd rather be able to do it this way. Get the tap line down, interact, keep the board clean. Now, hopefully they play like some big Planeswalker and we can Spell Pierce it and then untap and stick one of our threats. I think they meant to cast Search for Tomorrow, but they accidentally suspended it. So you can Spell Pierce a 4-drop or a 5-drop. Dramoka's Command. Okay. Wasn't expecting to see enchantment removal, but I guess you got me. Our life total is getting a bit low. Hopefully we draw land so we can go Tatiova, play land. Omnath. Okay, we're going to go for it. Hopefully we hit land. If we draw a fetch land here, we just win instantly. Boros Garrison. That's all. That's good too. So we'll pick up a forest and pass back. We have Spell Pierce available if we need it, but again, that would trigger Voice of Resurgence, so I'm not thrilled about that idea. But the Omnath stabilizes our life total really nicely. Okay, Devoted Druid, not really a problem. We can Royal Eruption it if we want to, and then they just pass. Okay, looking really good for us now, unless they're holding something insane. Let's play Tatiova. Play land. Gain a bunch of life and draw a card. I guess we don't have a path available this turn. I think I'm actually just going to Royal Eruption this Devoted Druid here. We'll use mana efficiently and stunt their mana development a little bit. And then we could offer the Omnath for both of these trade, but that doesn't seem worth it. Let's just keep our Omnath going. Now they get their Search for Tomorrow, but that doesn't really matter. If they play a permanent, we're really scared of. We can Tameo back. Oh. Well, fair enough. We can bring back the Oblivion Ring, but if they can kill our Oblivion Ring, we're in bad shape. But yeah, this turn I think we do just go for that. So we'll go Tatiova, leaving up red and blue mana. So let's leave up Hinterland Harbor, Inspiring Vantage. And now if they have a way to kill our Oblivion Ring, things could get a little bit hairy. But it's still not like game ending. We have a good hand. We could theoretically beat Nugan. Our life total is super good now. So we pass. They can kill our Tamio if they want to. I don't think I'm going to path the voice. I'd rather save the path for a scarier creature. So I'll just block the Elvish Visionary, let Tamio die, and then carry on with my day. If we can stick Dragon Lord Ojutai and get a hit in, I feel pretty good. But yeah, just come... Oh, they don't even attack. Interesting. I don't think that was correct. We draw fetch land. Okay, so let's tap this down. And now I think we start getting a little bit aggro. We have a manland that we can animate. So we can play Dragon Lord Ojutai and attack with a Wandering Fumarole. Actually, the attacking with a Fumarole doesn't do that much, though. So maybe we don't even do that. We just go... Dragon Lord Ojutai, and then we can just play Windswept Heath. And pass. Or swing for 4 and pass. And then this Windswept Heath can be used to gain us life if we want to, but I think more likely we can use it to try and get extra Omnath triggers on future turns. They play Farseek. Okay, so lots of ramp over there. So they're like green-white ramp. Interesting deck, but should be a pretty good matchup. They're just doing what we're doing, but with worse card draw. Okay, so let's start by attacking with both. And if we find fetch land, we can almost burn them out. Actually, we can burn them out. If they didn't block. Now, if they're blocking, then we can't. But still, we're in a really good position. Getting to the point where we don't even care about Ugin anymore. So this happens. We get to hit them with our Dragon Lord. Huh. Well, that's kind of bad. Let's grab land. Put those on the bottom. Tap down voice again. Play tap land to gain some life and pass turn. Fair enough. They could get back into this now. So they exile Wandering Fumarole Oblivion Ring. That makes sense because the Fumarole could pressure their Planeswalker. Alright, so we'll let this happen. Now they can -5 the Ugin. We actually have an interesting option of Helix on the Ugin right now. But no, I think I'm going to let them minus the Ugin if they want to. That's fine. So they might go -5 here. And then we can go Helix down the Ugin, path your Ulamog. And we're top decking, but I think that's a top decking battle that we're okay with. Oh, I guess I should have cracked the fetch land to gain 4 life, but it doesn't really matter. So let's go Lightning Helix here. Path here. And I'm actually not going to crack the fetch because we know that there's 2 lands that we don't want on the bottom of our deck. Solitude. Alright. Tatiova's gone. Tamio's gone. I don't think there's any real reason to save this. So let's play this and then pass with Solitude up. If they don't play anything, I think I'm still going to hold Solitude. If they were a little lower, I would just go for it. Go for the Solitude beatdown plan. Oh, man, they have another beefy boy here. What is this? Emrakul? Genesis Wave. Oh, hilarious. Well, wasn't expecting to get the turn 12 Spell Pierce action, but that worked out. So they actually have a lot more top end than I thought. I just assumed we would like easily be able to win a game that got to this stage, but maybe I wasn't giving them enough credit. Okay, Memory Deluge should seal the deal. I'll pass in case we need Solitude and an end of turn Deluge. I'm sorry if you're hearing some drill sounds in the background. My girlfriend's doing some work around the house, which I'm very grateful for, but hopefully it's not a problem. All right, so we'll play this Memory Deluge, see what we hit. All right, let's take Force and Karn. Those are pretty nice. Untap. All right, I think we're going to add to the board this turn, so let's go Voice into Karn. And we're going to choose to go Karn minus here. We could plus to get some value going, but I want to pressure our opponent's life total. So we'll do this, and then next turn we can hit them for 4, and then pretty soon after that we should be able to kill them. They drew another... Oh, no. Hornet Queen. All right. Man, they're putting up a good fight. I kind of love it. So that's good against our beatdown plan. That makes me wish I had plushed the Karn. And they have another play, which is Reclamation Sage, which is fine. That kills our construct, but not a problem. So we have a couple sweepers here that we could still hit. Let's plus the Karn. Fire Ice into Fairy. Both good cards. They're probably going to give us the Fire Ice. Alright, we'll play land and pass. All of our cards are instant, so no need to make a move now. We can Solitude the Hornet Queen and Fire Ice some of the insects and then not take too much damage. Okay, everything at Karn, that makes sense. We're getting a little bit low on cards in our library. Oh, interesting. So they get this. Hopefully they don't have anything too backbreaking. Solitude, that's fine. So we're going to go fire 2 of these guys. Solitude, Hornet Queen. And then we're going to block their Reclamation Sage. This way our Karn survives, and we can determine what to do with it next. Prismari Command is interesting. I think I'm going to grab the Teferi. I am a little bit worried about milling myself, but their life total isn't that high, so we should have time to be able to close this out. Radiant Flames. Okay, let's just play that. So red, green, white, Radiant Flames. Sweeps their board. And then pass. Oh. Mistapped there. We don't have Force of Negation, but it's fine. Okay. Untap. Alright, definitely at risk of milling myself now. We need to find some threats. And all our Planeswalkers just keep on drawing us more cards, and so does Consecrated Sphinx. Jeez. Okay. So we'll play land and pass. Not interested in flashing back Memory Deluge or anything. We need to make sure that we don't mill ourselves. Good Fortune Unicorn. Okay. Let's just go to Prismari Command to deal 2 damage and make a treasure, I guess. Actually, the treasure is not bad. It makes our Karn construct bigger. Another land. That's bad. Alright, so we're going to put Consecrated Sphinx into play. Play land, play the Sphinx. And then... So we don't mill ourselves here. We never actually mill ourselves because we can continue. We can keep on tucking our own Teferi. I think I'm gonna plus 1 more time. Man, another land. All right, so obviously we have to say no here. Actually, I guess that we don't have to say no, but we are gonna say no here. I'm going to Force of Negation this, actually, It's not like the most important card, but they're going to name non-creature. They're going to get a spell off of this, of course. And the spell they get could be a creature, so I'd rather just nip that at the bud. Now we win in a few swings. Oh no. Alright. Land. Can't plus to fairy. Or don't want to plus to fairy. They're down to 9. We can't plus the Karn either. I really wish we could make a Karn construct, but that's not going to work. Vivian. Okay, that's not actually that bad. That is worse. None of these cards have a silver counter on them, so we can't do anything with that. So they need to make a dude with reach off of their Vivian. Our life total is insanely high, so I'm not worried about them even attacking us, really. But we might just run out of win conditions. I wish we had a Banefire. So Duke of the Reach. Let's see what we draw. Oh no. So we can kill the Vivian. But no, I think I'm going to go with their face. Let them keep the Vivian. What I should do is find out what my last card is. But I think I'm just going to take the L here, actually. We're going to lose despite being in just a phenomenal position because they have so much. Like, I just wasn't expecting them to have, like, Ugin plus Ulamog plus a second Ugin. They just exiled so many of our win conditions. Like, we actually have a lot of win conditions in this deck. I don't think this is a real concern normally. But they just kept on hitting our things. So they get to kill our Teferi. That means we actually have to win this turn. So I don't think that there's anything left in our deck. But I'll take my draw step just in case there's something I'm forgetting. They get to make another dude. Any sideboard cards we want to bring in against green-white ramp. I don't think so. We could bring a Nexus of Fate to prevent this from happening. Yeah, that's actually not a bad option. But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I think this one's over. Come on, opponent. Just let us take our draw step. I'm in a little bit of a time pressure, so it's very annoying that they're just delaying for no reason. I don't really want to concede though, because it shouldn't be long. Let's see. I guess I can check what my last card is. Okay, they finally passed. Oh, they're playing Avengers Zendikar. Okay. I guess this way we get to see more of their deck too. Sun Titan, bring back Good Fortune Unicorn. Okay. So there's no reason to show them this Wrath of God. We would definitely win this game if we had like 5 more cards in our life. Or I don't want to say definitely, but we could outgrind them pretty easily here. Like we have Memory Deluge in the graveyard. Oh my gosh. Alright, a lot of power and toughness on the board here. Is there any way they accidentally draw a couple cards? That'd be kind of hilarious. Okay, they actually have a lot of grinding stuff. Multiple ways to bring things back from the graveyard. Genesis Wave to put stuff into play. Man, yeah, I think they're going to be able to take this one down. Bring back Dramoka's Command. Sure. That's a good call. That insulates them against... Well, they probably should have brought back Solitude if they have the mana for it, but Dramoka's Command can prevent burn spells from dealing damage to them. Okay, so let's look at their main win condition. They have Ulamog and Ugin and Hornet Queen and Avengers Zendikar, Sun Titan, Primeval Titan, lots of top end. And then like a bunch of ramp. They don't really have that much in the middle. The only mid-range planeswalker we've seen is Vivian. So mostly just need to worry about their top end and their ramp. In terms of interaction, they have Dromoka's Command, Prismatic Ending, Solitude, and then like I guess Ugin and Ulamog count as interaction as well. Giver of Runes. That's a surprising one. Arbor Elf. All right, you got me. So, we lose that game to green-white. Interesting matchup. We were way ahead, but Ugin and Ulamog are good when you're behind. And we don't have that much closing speed, which is somewhat of a problem. I think Nexus of Fate is worth bringing in for this sort of matchup. Oblivion Ring is honestly kind of sketchy. They have multiple ways to kill enchantments. Yeah, I think that's what we want to cut. Do we want to bring in anything else like Hullbreaker Horror for more of a top end? I don't think so. Again, I think that was just like a weird game more than a common problem that we'll run into with this deck. I guess Siege Gang Commander is also an option, but I think the rest of these cards are better. They're not even playing that much like removal, so they don't have that many ways to kill our things. Okay, I'll keep this. The mana is bad, but we have Wrath of God, which should be really good in the matchup. And we can cycle Ice on turn 2 to try and hit land drops. I might try and save this Arbor Elf until after Wrath of God. Alright, we're playing 18 lands, so shouldn't be too hard to find more. Prismari Command will be a good one if we can find the red source. There's the green source instead. Alright, I guess we'll just get the Arbor Elf down. So this is going to die to our Wrath eventually, but that's fine. It'll give us access to Memory Deluge in the meantime, so we can continue to develop our mana. Voice of Resurgence. Sure, that's okay against Wrath of God, but not that scary. I actually am going to Spell Pierce this. It gives them the token for voice, but we know we're going to be sweeping their board soon anyways. And I really need to play Memory Deluge this turn. If we don't hit our land drop, that's the way we lose. So we want to make sure we do that. All right, we drew the land either way. Still going to main phase this, though. Because I might find a tapped land. So we don't have any red mana, and we also really need double white. Okay, I don't think we know about Nexus of Fate yet. So let's take both Plains and Inspiring Vantage. And then get the Vantage into play. And then next turn, we can... actually, no, we don't have quite enough mana. We don't have the right mana to play Lightning Helix plus Wrath of God, but that's fine. We can just play the Wrath of God, and that should be fine. We take 6 damage, but I'm not really worried about my life total in this matchup. So let's go land. Wrath of God. So it's really good. Cleanly killed off 2 of their things and killed half of another thing. The Voice of Resurgence token on its own is not that scary. They also don't have that much mana. Okay, they play Farseek. That's fine. Alright, this is more lands than we want, of course. I think I'm going to go main phase. We'll play Island and then main phase Prismari Command to deal 2 and loot. They could play Dromoka's Command in response if they want to. It doesn't really matter. Okay, let's discard 2 plains. and pass. There's a decent general one lightning helix this elemental, but there's no need to do it now. Okay, they play Elspeth Resplendent. Okay, then that makes us want to save it. So they're probably going to minus... Well, actually, either way, when they activate their Elspeth, in response, we're going to use the helix. But if they plus on this, we'll kill the elemental in response. And if they minus to put something into play, then we'll kill the Elspeth, end of turn. Sure. I think I'm happier about this. They're probably just going to put a mana source into play, which is fine. I mean, they might have some really expensive stuff in their hand. Thalia. It's kind of interesting. Makes me kind of want to just kill off one of these things, actually, because now the pressure actually is somewhat relevant. Yeah, let's Helix to kill this, and then we can hopefully kill the Elspeth with our Consecrated Sphinx. Dragon Lord Ojutai was a good draw as well. Alright, lots of action. Right now, Tamiyo doesn't do too much, but it will later. They don't have that many ways to kill this Consecrated Sphinx. They have one Solitude, so if they have Solitude for the Sphinx, that would be kind of bad. They have Vivian. Alright, that's not a problem at all. So we can kill one of their things, and although I don't really want to path them. Give that flying, so both of their things are good blockers. So I guess I do need to path and ramp them, unless we top deck something. Ooh, no, we don't have enough mana to do everything we want here. What's the best way to do this? So a Johnny Helix can kill one of their things. We could go Helix to kill one of their things, path their other thing, but then we don't have the Ojutai down, or... Okay, so let's go through all the possible options. We can't play both Tamiyo and Ajani. We can play Tamiyo. We can play Path plus either one of our Planeswalkers to remove both of their blockers and kill a Planeswalker. That seems pretty good. The problem is we give them a land, which I don't love because they almost definitely have some really expensive stuff in hand. And we're burning our path on something that's not that important. So another option would be to Ajani Vengeant to kill Thalia. And then attack, and then if they block, we just are fine with that. But I think I really want to kill the Vivian this turn. So I'm going to begrudgingly use my path now. So we'll go Tamiyo. Tap the beast. Then we'll go path your Thalia. Then we'll kill the Vivian. And then next turn we should be able to kill the Elspeth. The problem is they just have so much mana, and I'm terrified that they're going to just get to their Ugin and Ulamog now. So that's scary. They have 6 mana. They could play Primeval Titan here. Their 2 cards are both spells, and they're both expensive spells. I guess we should have left open an island for Spell Pierce, but we didn't draw it. Six mana, Primetime. Sun Titan bringing back, like, Giver of Runes, I guess. That's not a problem. Voice, even less of a problem. Alright, so they should just cash in their Elspeth here for something, but they're probably going to plus. Oh, I guess they could put a flying counter on their Voice. That's still not bad, but it looks good from their perspective. We can probably just go Ajani, kill your voice, and then... Okay, no, they do an -3. Interesting. So they put another land into play. Windbrisk Heights, all right. We can tap down the Sun Titan. Okay, so they have 2, 4, 6, 7 mana. So getting towards Ugin. We will tap their Sun Titan, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can't play everything we want to. We could play a Johnny and keep one of their lands tapped down. I think that's the play. So let's go white, red, whatever. Unless... Yeah, I think limiting their mana here is good. Like, we can draw cards off of Dragonlord Ojutai, but we're already drawing so many cards that I don't think that's really how we need to be progressing here. So let's tap down one of their lands. We'll get Boros Garrison into play, bouncing back an island, and pass turn, leaving this back to block. Pretty bad draws. I was hoping to find Force of Negation. Okay, Eternal Witness to bring back Dramoka's Command. Okay, that's pretty bad, actually. Because that can kill our thing, and then they can kill our Ajani, and we need to find... Yeah, that's really bad. So we can cycle this Rogran Triome looking for Solitude in response, but we only have a 1 in 14 chance. Jeez, we're already down to 14 cards. This deck draws a lot of cards. Alright, so... Eternal Witness is good here. Come on, Solitude. Bummer. Okay, so we'll see how they attack now. So they're just going at the Tameo. Oh, no, okay, sure. Alright, Omnath is a good draw. But the problem is that they still have good stuff in their hand, almost definitely. We could Radiant Flames, but that doesn't do that much. Although we could Radiant Flames for 3 and Royal Eruption to kill the Sun Titan. We can also bring back a Johnny Vengeance. Yeah, okay, let's do that. So let's go... Land. Red, green, blue... Radiant Flames for 3. Then we go bring back a Johnny Vengeance. Kill your Sun Titan. And Royal Elemental to kill your beast. Alright, and now the board looks really good for us. The problem is that they have a great hand, and they're just going to play Ugin or Ulamog soon, and we don't have that much pressure to actually kill them. 7 mana, here's the Avenger of Zendikar. And now that we just use our Radiant Flames, we don't have a good board sweeper anymore, so we can't really beat Avenger of Zendikar. We need, this is the key turn, though. If they don't have something big this turn, we can tap down a land with a Johnny Vengeance. And we can start getting aggressive. We can, like, stake Dragonlord Ojutai and play Karn. And, okay, they have Primeval Titan. That's actually not as bad because, I mean, it depends on what their top-end piece is. Hopefully, like, they might just have, like, if they have both Ugin and Ulamog, like, I guess you got me. That's annoying, but whatever. We just draw land. That's bad, of course. Let's go. Tap your prime time. Keep Windbrisk Heights taps down. Swing for 4. Then we'll go Karn. Put a dude into play. Gain some life. Dragon Lord Ojutai. And pass. And now this is the, like, I mean, yeah, we'll see what they can do here. They have a lot of mana. If they have Ugin, we are probably going to die. Avenger of Zendikar. Okay, that actually might not kill. I mean, they can just put so much power on the board. We can gain a ton of life, and we also can hit them in the air. Jump blocking the elemental this turn, of course. We don't have any Snapcaster Mage type things to sweep their board, unfortunately. They should just crack their fetch now. Not much reason in waiting. We could theoretically find... Like, we already played our path, so we actually don't have another instant speed answer, but we could, so they should just not let us have a window to kill the Avenger. Okay. So let's hit them for 5 in the air. Solitude, all right. So let's go 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If their last card's Ugin, that sucks, but I think we can't really beat that. We're going to make another chump blocker. We will keep this tapped. Tap this. And play Flooded Strand. Now, hopefully they crack this end of turn, and in response, we can play the Solitude. Okay, they didn't fall for it. I'm going to play the Solitude now, though, because I can't really afford to let them just play land for turn. Now, in response, they crack this. They're going to have a ton of 2/3s in play. We can animate Wandering Fumarole on defense. Although that would tap us out of Force of Negation. Oh, wait. We are totally in this. I forgot that we brought in Nexus of Fate. That is really good here. Okay, Good Fortune Unicorn is not a problem. If we find Nexus of Fate, we can definitely win. And we have Dragon Lord Ojutai going, so we can easily do that. That's sweet. Oh, they're going to get Windbrisk Heights, though. That could be a problem. So 4 dudes at a Johnny, and then the rest at Tamio. Oh, 1 at Karn. Okay, I think I'm going to tap out of the Force of Negation. If they have it, they have it. Oh, they're playing now. So that's good. We get to see what they have. Hopefully it's not Ulamog. If it's Ugin, we can Force of Negation it. Yeah, what you got? Solitude, okay. Not great. So exiling our Omnath. Right, in response, I'll just grab one of these lands. Animate this. So we can save one of our 2 planeswalkers. Let's save a Johnny, I think. We can go block, block. Oh, wait. It is Tamio. But actually, I think Tamio is better anyways, because Tamio can bring back a Johnny if we're taking infinite turns. All right, so we get 4 looks out of our 7 cards to find the Nexus of Fate. It's not there. Yeah, I mean, we just need to hit it here. Nexus of Fate. Oh, no. Okay, do we have enough mana for this? We do have exactly enough if we could draw it here. Brutal. Okay, let's just play Voice of Resurgence. Really frustrating. We had a lot of looks there. So we pass. And now we can still win. Like, we get to take infinite... Is this a May or... You have to put one of them into your hand. Okay, I am going to Force of Negation this. So, do we have a way of winning? I guess we can just keep on taking turns. So we're going to time out is the thing. We actually can win. But we're just going to slowly tap down. Like, we would take infinite turns and then tap down one more of their things every single turn. And then eventually win. They're actually also their life total is kind of low. So we don't actually lose here. I'm just gonna keep the Tamio alive. But if they send 3 things at Tamio, we can't save it anymore, which looks like that is what they're gonna do. Or they're sending even more. 3 at Tamio, then a lot at me. So all right, yeah, so we can't save our Tamio. We'll block here, jump here. Then we untap, and then hopefully, okay, there's the Nexus, so let's play that. Then hit them for 5 in the air. And hopefully find the Nexus again. Nice. And then pass back to ourselves, and then in our upkeep, we're going to play the Nexus again. Nice. Really happy we brought in the Nexus, of course. And now it's going to be just a race to not time out, which is kind of annoying, but... All right, so... Boom. We win game 2 in a just wild game. And now we have 4 and 17, they have 452, so they're ahead on time. That sort of sucks. This is just going to be like a speed game, which is really frustrating. I don't like games like that. Murktide Region is a card that could just like get him if we want to have a fast card that can win. I'm going to cut Nexus of Fate even though it won there. Like, we just are never going to have enough time to win through that strategy. So maybe we just bring in Murktide as a quick clock and like Siege Gang too. And then cut Memory Deluge and run it like this. Sure. Just want to go fast and not time out, unfortunately. It's possible that either one of us could win in 4 minutes, but it's super unlikely. All right, good hand. We're going to keep. It's slow, but it's fine. I'll Spell Pierce anything here. All right. Tap land, go. If we play a Boris Garrison, we have to go to discard, which I don't really want to do. Hopefully they play something we can Spell Pierce here. They could play a 5-drop. So if they play like Vivian or something like that, that'd be sweet. Get Fortune Unicorn, okay. Fine. Alright, Murktide Regent didn't get there. We're going to be discarding that to hand size. Yep. Excellent. Then this turn we can go Prismari Command to kill the Devoted Druid and create a treasure. So 2 damage to any target. We create a treasure. And we get this into play tapped. And pass. And now we're in a really good position. We can play Tatiova and then, or we can just jam Consecrated Sphinx next turn. They Rampant Growth, that's fine. Then Voice, it's fine. Alright, so let's go land. Sphinx, go. I'm F6 even though I have Solitude. I'm just not interested in playing in like using time that way. So they can play Primeval Titan, Sun Titan, getting back Devoted Druid, that's fine. We're going to Solitude that. I think I'm going to Solitude and play Dragonlord Ojutai. Yeah, rather than hard casting Solitude. And then this gives us actually a really quick clock. We did just gain them 7 life, but we're swinging for 9 a turn in the air. So it doesn't take that many swings to kill them. They do have a lot of mana, so they could always top deck something. I'm going to take out some of their mana here if I can. So I'm going to Royal Eruption to kill the Devoted Druid. Weird attack here. I'm fine taking 5. I'm not that worried about my life total. Oh, right. They get the Windbrisk. Oh, no! Hilarious. Okay, we're actually still not in terrible shape. Because we can tap that down. And we get a couple draws to find something. Omnath, okay. So play that. Hit for 5. No path. Take a land. Then go upkeep ice. They get a dude. I forgot about that, but I don't care that much. Path. Okay, nice. So we're taking 5 here. Then we can play Omnath and Path. So Omnath. That was a great draw. I'm going for the win here, not for the timeout. It's the honorable move, and I think we can make it here. So let's go Path here. And then just cast Tatiova. Should, like, sequencing imperfect. We also should have attacked first, but trying to go fast. They're top decking. Tamio, yep. So Tamio can just bring back Solitude if we want to. If they top deck Ugin, like, you got me, I guess. Our life total is also really low. Did they really do it? Come on. Oh, that's so frustrating. Okay, if they swing with just that, we can take 5. If they swing with everything, can we block this and take 8? No. Okay, so they're just swinging with that. That's fine. We'll take it. Okay, let's think. Can we do this? We can Royal Eruption to kill the thing, gain 4 life, play Arbor Elf. I don't think bringing back Solitude is that important. So let's go Elf, land, Tameo. Yeah, we actually don't have. I miscalculated. We don't have enough mana to do everything here. We can't kick Royal Eruption. So let's go swing at you for 5. Wrath of God, that's kind of funny. Can't do that now, though. Then we'll play Siege Gang. And now they can minus the Ugin to take out our Goblin tokens if they want to. But that's also going to take out their Elemental token. We have plenty of chump blockers, so they can't burn us out. And then Royal Eruption plus Dragon Lord Ojutai kills them next turn. If they -5 their Ugin, then the board is just clean. We Royal Eruption to kill their Ugin, and then try to win by Tameo to bring back Siege Gang, which should work. So we can win pretty easily as long as they don't top deck really well. But, I mean, they just top decked Ugin, so maybe they're... Okay, they do go for this. Sure. Okay, let's go. Royal Eruption. Yeah, Royal Eruption here. Then tap land and pass. And next turn we get to bring back CJ and Commander, which will kill them really quickly. They top deck Thalia. Okay, that's fine. Bring back. Oh, Siege Gang's gone. Solitude. Oh man. I'm just trying to go fast here, of course. Oh, come on. Oh, they're just trying to time me out. This doesn't matter. They know it doesn't matter. So we get that into play. Pass. We kill them in 2 turns. They can just leave this back to block, though. So we need to play Teferi. Okay, Tuck. And then I'm F6 here. We can attack with this, the Wandering Fumarole, but I think that'll take more time. They're obviously not trying to win here. I hate this. Like, they should just concede. They know they can't win. Okay, if we can make it through 2 more turns, we do still win, but I just don't think we can. We can animate Fumarole, and then... But no, yeah, that sucks. That's so annoying. Screw you, man. Just concede there. Obviously, they had no path to victory. Or maybe they had a path to victory. I don't know. Very, very frustrating. We were going to win in, like, literally we needed 15 seconds. Like, it was not a hard game to win from here. Animate Fumarole, put them to 1, and then next turn they're dead. We time out there. Really, really frustrating, but it is what it is. You got to manage the clock. Man. All right, well, I'll see you in round 2. All right, we have our opponent for round 2, J. Pablo. Going to try not to go on tilt after a very frustrating timeout in round 1. The game was pretty over, but our opponent was just taking game actions to stall us. Not much to do about that, unfortunately. Interesting. All right, I'm going to play this. I believe, yeah, we do have lands that we can fetch if we need to for Spell Pierce, but I would really like to not do that because I want to grab a Triome. All right, nice. So I think we're getting Jeskai here. And then we're just going to gem, turn 2 Voice. Our mana's pretty awkward for a Johnny. We don't have red-white at the moment. Fateful absence. Wow, that's great news for us. So we get to investigate and get a dude. So very happy to see that. We'll hit them for 1, pass turn. All right. Everything's lining up pretty well here. We get to Spell Pierce this and then untap and play Johnny to tap down one of their lands. That was a good draw, too. So, I have 2 plans tonight. I'm gonna go hang out with some friends, and then before that, I was gonna go hang out with my girlfriend and her friend, and that was sort of time dependent. We were like, all right, I'll record a video, and then if it's a quick one, maybe we'll have time to go to that. Maybe not. I have a feeling that I will not be going to that. I'm actually not going to attack here. I think there's a pretty good chance they're going to play Restoration Angel or something like that. And 1 damage is not that relevant, so we'll just leave it back. Alright, no Resto, so we missed out on 1 point of damage, but I think that's pretty unlikely to matter. What's this, Teferi? Yorion. That's interesting. Wow, really good hits there. I think I'm going to get greedy and take both of the spells. No, let's take Solitude and land. It's close, but I don't think we need the Omnath when we also have Consecrated Sphinx here. I think I'm just going to play the Sphinx and pass. Let them have their Yorion for a turn. All right. So blue-white control. Yorion looks a little bit out of place. I don't think we need multiple board sweepers here, so we can cut at least one of those for sure. Let's bring in the Nexus of Fate. That Nexus of Fate win was awesome, even though it did take time off of our clock, which ended up being relevant. Do we need all of these burn spells? They're okay against Planeswalkers. We could bring in Hullbreaker Horror, but that's setting us up to... That's, like, making us really slow. I'll still play 1 Wrath. I think that seems fine. Yeah, we can submit like that. Yeah, seems good. So we're on the draw here. It should be a good matchup. I'm going to keep this hand. It has lands and spells. It doesn't have red mana, and it's very slow, but I think our opponent's deck is pretty slow too. And also, if we're holding up a bunch of blue mana, they might be reticent to just jam something into that, so we might get some bluff value here. It's kind of funny how, like, if you saw these 5 cards, you'd be like, oh, this could be like a modern blue-white control deck. And then just Royal Eruption, a card you would literally never see in Modern. Oh, so many things had to go wrong in that game 3. They were top decking. And we were hitting with Dragonlord Ojutai. And then they top decked Ugin. They had the Ulamog under Windbrisk Heights. Then they top decked Ugin. And then we were still going to win, but we just needed 10 more seconds. That is a problem with having a bunch of dual lands and tri-lands. Kind of bad draw. You just, like... It takes an extra second each time you do it, which doesn't matter that much. But if all of your lands are like that, it can start to add up. Okay, Riftwind Cloudskate. Honestly, kind of annoying, actually. I'll play this so we can get red. That can Like, that's a real threat. It can pressure our planeswalkers well and also make them get a mana advantage if it's a really slow game. That card, some people, like LSV loves that card. Some people say it's good in Vintage Cube. I think that's insane. Like, I think it's extremely underpowered for Vintage Cube, but it's good in Modern Cube. It's a solid card, so I can see why some people like it. All right. All the expensive stuff. There's no way they jam into all this mana, yeah. Interesting. I think I'm gonna jam the Ajani here. Yeah, I'm gonna jam the Ajani here. If they counter it, that's fine. I don't want to discard hand size, which is a real risk. If we just pass and play Memory Deluge and then they bounce one of our lands, we could theoretically be discarding 2 cards to hand size, which is not really something I'm interested in. So I'm going to do this. They can bounce it if they want to, but then we get to keep all our lands. They could also bounce a land, but then they can't kill the Ajani. So either way, I think it's a little bit better to have cast the Ajani. They do bounce the land. Interesting. I don't think they would have a burn spell. And if they attack the Ajani, they don't have an Oblivion Ring or anything. Cycle Sensor and then just pass? Yeah, weird. This was not the best line, I think. Let's go... Well, let's start by trying to play Tamiyo. And if this works, we can tap down the Riftwing and a land. And if they counter this, then we'll have to use a Ajani to tap down the Riftwing. Alright, sweet. So, tap you. It's kind of awesome. The classic is having Wrenn and 6 and 3 mana Teferi and play at the same time. You have like your blue-white Planeswalker and your red-green. This is another variant, the red-white Planeswalker and the blue-green. Sword of Hearth and Home. Not scary. Well, mediums. Actually, I'm going to Ajani this down. It gives them an extra mana, but I think it's still worth it just to clear the board, especially when they have a sword in play. They just concede. All right. If they didn't concede already, the Teferi would definitely get there. So pretty sweet. We just creamed blue-eye control there, which should be a good matchup. See you in the finals, where we're not fighting for the trophy. But see you there. All right, here we are for round 3. On the draw with... This hand's just bad. Like, we can't cast any spells. We need to top deck really well. This hand is better. Keep and put back the Sphinx. So we have all our colors. We don't have, like, a lot of our lands enter tapped. So hopefully they're not doing anything too fast. They do have the 1-drop, though. I'm not going to hold up Spell Pierce here because that would mean we can't play Royal Eruption next turn, which I would like to be able to do. But we'll see. If they play like 3 mana Nissa, I'll obviously regret this. Okay, sweet. They're just attacking. Alright, let's go Clifftop Retreat, Royal Eruption. If they didn't have a play for 3 mana last turn, they're unlikely to have a play for 3 mana this turn. And then we can play Boros Garrison, bounce our Clifftop Retreat, and hold up Spell Pierce on turn 4. Oh, I get... Okay, they have a double white card. Oh, no, they don't. Weird. I don't know why they didn't play that last turn. I obviously wish I had a removal spell. Okay, we're just going to hold off on the Boros Garrison a bit longer and go Island Voice. And they have the fetch land. Alright, Tireless Tracker's good, and it's doing its thing here. Obviously, if I had known they were going to play Tireless Tracker, I would not have played Royal Eruption on the Hierarch. But again, I thought it was very likely, since they swung for 1 and passed on turn 2, that they would, again, not play something for 3 mana on turn 3. No play. Interesting. Prismari Command. Okay, we're going to play Plains Go. We could go either Prismari Command or Memory Deluge. If they sequence their stuff really weirdly, we could theoretically kill this Tireless Tracker, but it's unlikely. They didn't crack the clue end of turn. Now if they pass, we get to play our Deluge. Nice. And hopefully this can find us a removal spell that deals with a tracker. Okay, crack a clue in response, sure. I don't know why they're leaving this Verdant Catacombs uncracked. They should definitely just fetch now. Hey, they found the line. Good for you. So, Lightning Helix, unfortunately, is unlikely to be able to work here. They should just crack a clue now. There's no reason to wait. Okay, alright, we found a couple answers that don't care about the toughness, so that's nice. Let's go Solitude, Windswept Heath, I think. Yep. And now we'll fetch just a basic forest. Hardcast Solitude now before they can make another clue. And now it's close. Like, they are ahead on cards because they got a bunch of value off this Tireless Tracker, and they're way ahead on life. We're ahead on board, and I think we just have a better deck for this sort of game. Like, our hand kind of sucks, but we have a lot of live top decks. So I think we're actually potentially ahead, but this is a big turn. If they play Primeval Titan or something, this will get bad. Gilded Lotus. Well, we have Prismari Command to kill that. And Utopia Sprawl. Okay, a lot of mana over there. Ooh. Okay. So I was gonna play the Prismari Command, but I think I'm gonna let them have the mana this turn. This could backfire, but we get solid. We have Spell Pierce available if that somehow comes up, and we also get to gain 2 life and draw 2 cards immediately. This is the better version of Tireless Tracker. So we'll attack and pass. Oh, what is this? Oh, sure. So probably not going to be getting much value off of this Spell Pierce, but we can pitch it to Force of Negation if they play something scary. And we actually have a reasonable beatdown here. We have 8 damage on board, so we kill them in 2 swings at the moment. Lazy Chicken is deep in thought over there. This is a pretty key turn. If they don't do anything devastating this turn, we get to untap all our mana, draw another 2 cards, potentially draw even more off Prismari Command, stunt their mana, develop a bit. But this is the key turn. What do they have? Hopefully it's a non-creature. Come on. I really want to Spell Pierce this. Oh, Walking Ballista. Okay. That's not that bad. I mean, they can kill Tatiova. It's definitely not good, but it's not game-ending at all. Yep. They're going to shoot down the Tatiova. Wrath of God, not really what we were looking for. So let's swing with both. They might just go block voice, shoot Solitude, in which case we don't need to use our Prismari command. They also might just take it because they want to use their, level up their Ballista again next turn. But if they do that, then we can just go Prismari command to kill Gilded Lotus and Ballista. They'll get to kill our Solitude, but I think that's fine. So, yeah. Prismari command. Let's see. Deal 2 damage to any target, destroy target artifact. And then they can kill one of these things in response. It's fine, though. We'll still have at least one creature. And then we can play Boros Garrison, bounce an island, and pass with Force of Negation available, hardcast. Sure, they shoot down the Solitude, not a problem. All right, sweet. That is definitely something we will counter here. If they've Mana Tie, that sucks, but okay, nice. That works. And then they do have another play. They might just be hitting us for 3 with Stirring Wildwood. Although at that point, I might just prefer, when they're at 10, they might want to leave that back to block. I don't know if they want to be trading 2 for 3 here. Okay, let's just go land, swing for 2, and then end of turn Deluge. We also have Spell Pierce still available. We can go Deluge plus Pierce if we really want to. A lot of mana. Hopefully something we can Spell Pierce. It's another Ulamog. Okay. So in response, I'm going to leave up a white source in case we find Path Exile. There's the Path. All right, sweet. Path plus Consecrated Sphinx. That was great. There's other answers too, like Tamio is a decent answer to this as well, but I think we just want to exile this, get it going for good. One mana answer to your 10 drop. Sure, they got to exile a couple things as well, but still, really good exchange for us. Then we get to go Consecrated Sphinx with Spell Pierce up. There's a lot of big creatures in this format. Path to Exile feels even better than I was expecting. All right, so we're very ahead now. We have a good life total, 2-turn clock in the air. But they have a ton of mana, and so you never know. They could just hardcast Ugin now. Might be against another green-white Ugin Ulamog deck. That'd be kind of hilarious. The Great Henge. Fair enough. We can't kill that. Can't Spell Pierce it. I'll let it resolve. Interesting. Okay, let's start with a Karn. And plus. Omnath and Arbor Elf. Okay, so they're going to give us the Arbor Elf, presumably. Yep. Then we can go cast the Elf, and then we'll play Island to pass, holding up Fire, Ice, and Spell Pierce. I don't imagine Fire Ice will be incredible here, sorry, I don't think we'll be able to deny their mana. So like tapping a land with Ice and then Spell Piercing something is probably not going to be relevant, but we can potentially like tap a blocker or something. They can gain 2 life a turn with a Great Henge. So it looks like their life total is very low, but it's not as low as it looks. We have 10 cards in library now, so we do need to close out the game pretty soon. Okay. So they draw a card and we draw a card. Or we draw 2. So what's our plan for winning? This Great Henge is pretty annoying. I don't think I'm going to ice the Vorinclex. I'm just going to let them attack. I don't really... Like, the thing is, I'm worried about milling myself, and I don't really want to be cantripping this ice. So... Well, although at the same time, getting Omnath would be kind of nice. Yeah, it probably is worth it. Are we finally going to get to Spell Pierce something? Crater of Behemoth. Okay, resolves. I'm not going to draw any more cards off the Great Henge. So let's tap the Vorinclex. And then they can decide if they want to go at us or the Karn. I hope they go at us, but we'll see. And then we're going to Wrath of God no matter what. So we're going to just chump block. Although actually having 1 more mana could help. Okay, yeah, let's just take this. I don't think 9 damage is going to matter that much. We're going to get Omnath down. Oh. Our mana's awkward. We don't have enough white mana to do everything I want to do. Or we're going to have to play Omnath before we play... Or play land and then play Omnath, which is not great. Alright, so let's hit for 4. We can almost just kill them. But we can't. So hit them for 4. Well, let's see. We're playing... We need 8 mana. So we actually don't need the extra mana. So we can just swing with both for 5. Then we go... Wrath of God. And we'll put the Omnath into our hand. Play Plains. Play Omnath. And then go to discard. Pitching 2 lands. Oblivion Ring is an answer to the Great Henge. We can't quite kill them here. Royal Eruption is also gone. Man, 1 Banefire or something would go such a long way in this deck. We've very consistently pretty much drawn our entire deck and been more worried about running out of time or milling ourselves than from whatever the opponent's doing. Legion's Landing is completely unplayable in their deck. I don't know why that's a card. Animate the Wildwood. That's kind of weird too. They can't attack right now. Good to know about Craterhoof. That's a good card against us. We don't have... Oh... Okay, our life total is low now. I was banking on getting some life gain from Omnath, but now we're going to 3. So that's a little scary. Alright, what's the best play here? We can go Oblivion Ring to Great Henge, play Dragon Lord Ojutai. That's probably it. And we can just make a chump blocker too. They can gain 2 life in response. And then if they attack with a vampire token, we don't have lethal right now. Get our flyer down. Play Wandering Fumarole, which is really nice here. And then pass turn. So I don't think there's any way they can... I guess they could go like Ugin and kill us. Ugin plus would do the job. But they can't really kill us by attacking. Ulamog's already gone. They animate the Stirring Wildwood. That's kind of weird. Oh, I guess it's a 4/5. So if we block with the Ojutai, it's a trade. Do they attack with both? Okay, given that they did this, we could threaten lethal. I think we are going to threaten lethal here. So we'll just block like this. And then right now, the Ojutai will kill them. If they play a blocker, we can tuck it with Teferi. Ojutai is impervious to removal. Mere Battlesphere. Okay, yeah. So we can just win in the air. They definitely should have attacked with their vampire too. I think we still would have won, but at least that would have meant that they're not just instantly dead on board. Oh, we even drew the Helix. That's a good draw, but unneeded here. Hit you for 5, and we're on to game 2. We're also ahead on time, which is, I guess, really important. So their deck looks good. Crater of Behemoth with Mer Battlesphere is solid. We definitely want all of the removal, or all of our sweepers. I don't think any of these other cards look great. Like, Siege King Commander and Blink of an Eye are both potentially playable. I think we're just running it back, though. Maybe we cut Karn. Yeah, Karn's honestly kind of sketchy. The +1 just churns through your library, loses all your win conditions. I think that is a bit of a risk. So let's bring in Blink of an Eye over Karn, and then we'll run it like this. All right, on the draw here for what will hopefully be the last game of this league. And we can keep this. We don't have any white mana, but Radiant Flames does deal 3 damage to each creature. Could be really good on turn 3. We also have Force of Negation as early as turn 1. The path might not be good for a while, but that's fine. All right, there's our white source. That's kind of nice. Oh, wait, this is not the triumph I thought it was. We actually don't have red. Still probably fine, but that doesn't make the hand worse. Dragon Lord Ojutai. Okay, so let's go Plains, and then upkeep, tap there, Stirring Wildwood. Digging for red. Nice. Potentially the best draw on the deck. Now, ideally, they just go like Tireless Tracker here. Okay, Giver of Runes, great. I'll take my 2 for 1. No point in waiting. The Giver of Runes will be able to save something later, so we're going to just take it now. Ooh, and another great draw. Red, white, black. Sweep their board, and then pass. We can Force of Negation, pitching Dragon Lord Ojutai if we need to. I would definitely prefer not to do that. What is this, Walking Ballista? Sure. Hmm. Okay, it doesn't seem great, but I think the move here is to just trade the Ajani with a Walking Ballista. Otherwise, the Ballista has the potential to grow out of range, and I just want to keep the board clear. Just trade down resources, keep the board clear, and then overpower them with something like Dragon Lord Ojutai later. So, shoot this. In response, they can kill our Ajani and then hit us for 1. So, the end result of that exchange is that we take 1 damage, and we each trade 4 drops. And now, I really don't want to pitch this Ojutai to something. If they play... Oh... Alright, I think against this we actually do need to. It doesn't feel good because Ojutai was a big part of our plan there, but that can make reach blockers every single turn, so it'll make it really hard to connect with the Ojutai. Okay, we're just going to go land Arbor Elf and then end of turn, cycle Ketria Triome. We have 6 mana, so we can cast anything in our deck now. If they just animate the Stirring Wildwood and beat down, that's fine. Gilded Lotus also fine. They have no cards. I guess I should have cycled that first in case we drew Spell Pierce. Alright, well, we draw Blink of an Eye now and definitely wish it was a Karn. That's kind of funny. Let's go tap land, hit for 1. And then we can go end of turn, bounce their Gilded Lotus if they don't do anything relevant. Sure. Could path this, but I don't think that's necessary. Let's save the path for a good top deck. Royal Eruption. Not really what we were looking for. Alright, I mean, we're just finding a bunch of air right now. I'm not too worried about it, though. Like, we just have so much action in our deck. I guess we do also have a lot of lands in our deck, though. And we've only seen 8 so far, so there are still 10 remaining out of the last 23. Alright, they're just playing this. And then animating the Wildwood again. And I actually am tempted to just take out the Wildwood this turn. Okay, yeah, I think I will. My life total isn't super relevant, but it does matter a bit. And we have another pseudo removal spell now. So we'll just shut this down. And then looking for like Omnath, Consecrated Sphinx, Teferi. Sure, Solitude 2. Hit for 1, pass. And now we're ready for their next threat, depending on what it is. If they play like Vorinclex here, that would be kind of sweet. Eight mana Craterhoof. Nice Craterhoof, bro. I'm just going to Solitude this now. We're going to be Solituding it either way, so we might as well make them gain a bit less life. This card is really, really good when it's good, but on its own, it doesn't do too much. So we have them on a fairly fast clock. Ooh, actually really fast. Now we're hitting them for 4 a turn. We have 5 points of burn in hand. And now we can start hitting them for 8 a turn. Is your deck like mono answers? It is a lot of answers. Probably more answers than threats. There's the Vorinclex, alright. We don't have an answer for that at the moment. They do go for the race, though. Wow. I guess that makes sense from their information set, but like with Solitude gaining its life, I don't think this is really the right line. Let's animate this. Switch power and toughness, and then hit them for 8. Now they're at 9, so we can't quite burn them out with the stuff in our hands, but we're close. Probably will just be helixing their face end of turn. Alright, yeah, let's helix their face. Yeah, that's right. We're playing Lightning Helix in our Zagoth Triome deck. Okay, so let's attack with just these two and then try to Royal Eruption their face. I guess if they top decked Dramoka's Command, it could get a little dicey for us. They block here, go to 1. But, I mean, we gotta make our move. Like, if we're really playing around Dramoka's Command, we want to probably attack with a Fumarole too. But I think that's literally the only card that they could have here. So I think we're just gonna. In general, if you can threaten lethal, it's a good move. Does this resolve? Yes. All right. Sweet. So this was our deck, and it was really, really good. 4-color Omnath. We went 5-2, so we won every single game other than the ones in the opener. In game 3 of the opener, we would have won if we didn't time out. And then in game 1, we were also massively ahead, but then they just had Ugin and Ulamog. So really good deck. We even though we didn't get the trophy, we did a lot more winning than losing. It had not that much in the way of ramp or early answers, despite what the opponent said. Actually, I guess it had some early answers, like Royal Eruption, Helix, Path, Oblivion Ring, Prismari Command, not bad. But then the meat of the deck was just these 4 and 5 drops. And we had tons of Planeswalkers, tons of value creatures, card draw, life gain, just ultimate value engine. That came at the expense of having not the best ways to actually close out the game. So there was no sort of Inferno Titan type card that will just deal damage and win the game. Which was a flaw of the deck. We're at risk of milling ourselves in many games. That was frequently more intimidating than whatever the opponent was doing. So I think Nexus of Fate was good when it was good. Winning game 2 of round 1 was really, really sweet off of that Nexus. And Ojutai plus Nexus of Fate is a really, really powerful combo. So I'll keep that in mind going forward. Just a great deck all around. We didn't have that many issues with the mana base. Which makes sense. We had a lot of non-basics, and we were playing 18, but still, that was good to see. I think in general, you always want to have at least one board sweeper, unless you're hyper creature-based, because there's lots of creatures in this format. So I liked having access to both the Wrath and the Radiant Flames. All around, a really sweet league. Teferi, this was the rare deck where Baneslayer Angel might have been better than Teferi, because we had such good card draw and we're lacking the ways to kill them, but a really good deck nonetheless. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.